How you guys doing today? Today I want to talk about, do narcs move on? Once you escape the narcissistic family cults, do the narcs move on? I will say no. The narcs don't move on. They have nothing to move on to. You see, narcs operate in like a secret society type deal where they know all of what's the abuse going on, but the outside world really doesn't know the extent of abuse that they inflict on their victims. Not even victims, they're deceived people, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what narcs want you to be, in a victim mentality, so they can continue the cycle of abuse. One thing about narcs is they don't have no ends to like abuse. They want to continue the cycle. So that's what I mean by they have nothing to move on to. What can they move on to? Abusing people out in the outside world? No, because people in the outside world will do something if you try to abuse them. So what they focus mainly on is abusive family issues. What I mean by that is they gang stalk and group against the scapegoats. It could be multiple or it could be one. Whoever's siding with the person they're trying to gang up on, that's another scapegoat to them, because they're going to refuse to try to help that person, in any way, shape, form possible, and they're going to isolate that person with the scapegoat. So I said it to say, narcs don't move on to anything new. They have nothing new to move on to. They can't abuse people in the outside world. But what they can do is abuse their family. But when their family moves on, say, a relative, whoever the scapegoat is, moves on with their life, they grow up, say you was a child scapegoat and you grow up and you move on with your life, then what do they move on to? I have a analogy myself I made up in my head that I think to be true. You know what I'm saying? If you grow up and you move on with your life, you hit your 20s, you know what I'm saying, you ready to move on from the scapegoat and the family, you caught on finally, in your 20s, thank God, and you move away, you cut them off completely. Okay, so what happens? What do you think's going to happen after that? You don't know what's going to happen. You just know you cut them off. You just hope they don't come back around because you were scapegoated, right? But the thing about it is, I've heard, I have an analogy that they will try to find another scapegoat, through adoption, through foster care, through anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. See, they have a habit. One thing about habits is they're repetitive, right? So scientists can study this, everything, scientists study these habits, you know what I'm saying? Whatever is a habit, you do it repetitive. You do it over and over again. And, that kind of aligns with the definition of insanity. It's like when you try something over and over again and it's not working, you know, that kind of aligns with that, So what they would try to do is they know it's not working with you anymore, so they're gonna try to move on to somebody else, which could be anything, you know what I'm saying? Could be a foster care kid, could be adoption centers, anything. Could be a dog, it doesn't matter. Narcs need something to abuse. That's what I would say with that one. Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe.